into once we got out of the laning phase is the fact they want to play on 3 lanes at once. But when you're against a Trundle, that lane is kind of blocked, because Trundle will beat both your guys in split push, especially because Echo will go Abyssal Scepter.
That game as well. Cult's picked up by both ADCs, Boots of Swiftness already for Dashan. He's already relocating to this bottom lane. You can see Duke slightly ahead in terms of repositioning his lane priority. And an even start. No early mistakes from CLG, but no over-aggressive plays either there, Kobe.
Yep, exactly. Pretty standard lane swap for both sides. He's doing well in the mid lane versus Faker.
And now the big question is, because this tournament so far, we've seen quite a lot of teams value Dragon in these lane swaps. So they would then take the bot tower for CLG, realize they were ahead in tempo, and then run down and start taking a Dragon while they give up the Rift Held to SKT. But that is something that has started here at MSI, not something we have seen a lot back in the LCS before, and where you would then instead recall and go top and then push for the enemy tier 2.
And that is a crucial part of what CLG would like to be able to use when they want to set up plays, you know, kind of weaving in and out, fending for himself with Aftermove, trying to heal him and keep him upright while the 2 solo laners take out the back line.
But that is one of the problems about the CLG comp. If we look at like all 5 picks together, is like Soraka is going to stay in the back line, obviously, and heal. She's not going to follow you when you die.
And we've seen that manifest itself with multiple times where Aftermove on the Soraka's getting caught out of position. It's very difficult to position Soraka in a comp like this.
But it's basically CLG saying, you know what, we want to pick for each individual lane, and Lucian Soraka is a very strong 2v2 lane, so we're going to see if we can bully one of the lanes with it. Obviously, we know the Echo is the blind pick choice for Hui as well, so they might not have a lot of choices in terms of how they want to put the comp together. Right now, the Duke is trying to get some farm on top side. SKT needs to mirror what's happening up here, and they are trying to do exactly the same, but they're giving away a lot here. I don't really like this too much from SKT.
Well, tower should be going down shortly. Duke is looking to contest, takes a lot of damage. Stixxay with that BF sword, a full channel on the culling, flashes forward, heals used as well, picks up a second kill.
And we've seen this time and time again, the CLG bot lane going for those kills, whereas SKT now trying to answer here, but Darshan gets away.
The spear lands onto Bang, and Xmithie's pouncing forward. A great defensive cocoon from Blank will buy some time. The spear, Xmithie's gonna get the prowl. His pounce is available.
Losing in these side lanes before, and now under pressure. You can see Bang is all alone bot side pushing in, but that's just going to be picked up by CLG.
Obviously, yeah, the reaction here from CLG, they immediately pull back off of the press on mid and send Stixxay down to collect the gold bottom. As soon as they saw Bang switch gears in the side lane, you see him try and change, try and shove it as quickly as possible. Stixxay does get there in time for the cannon and the second melee.
Oh, it's just a very safe play by CLG. They're not going to lose anything by moving mid lane and just get a few hits on tower, because they see the Ezreal on bottom side, wait for him to slow push it in, and then walk down and pick up the wave. So they're in control at the moment.
Yeah, and I think that's an important adaptation that CLG have made. Before we saw them go for mid lane dives at that time.
So good.
Here they go for a mid lane pressure play, but this time Faker goes down to the bottom side where SKT do have control of the jungle.
And look at all the vision. Basically opposite. CLG have got top quadrant control, pinks, a couple of stealth wards, SKT down, somewhat mirrored in that outer turret down bottom off the extended siege. But take a look, there's a setup for a dive. Counter Logic Gaming, they're looking for blood. Defensive flash and the pin against the wall. Faker's in trouble, and he's down. The tower will be the focus as the hammer comes down, sending Blank away. Darshan's chunked low. Blank will be forced to run. It was Duke that caught the verdict, but the tower still stands.
Raising the tempo of the game, increasing the speed here from CLG. What we were looking for them to do in game number 2, they catch Faker off guard. No summoners burn from him, stun lock from CLG. That's exactly what I'm talking about with the Echo Poppy pick and diving the back line.
Let's see if they can do it again. Hui throws down the convergence. The stun will not land, but Duke is pinned against the wall. Darshan is now caught up on the wrong side of the river, running for his life. Afro puts a slow onto the rest of SKT. Darshan continues to run and will...
For composition. So for them, if they can ward up the river and just kind of play reactive at the moment, it's fine. Once they start seeing Hui split push on the bottom side though, they need to be ready for these TP flanks to happen. They need to be ready to make a play themselves, but know which wards are behind us, how can we avoid a potential engage. That's where Nami does well. If someone TPs on a ward, you can actually time it with bubble or tidal wave and stop that flank then.
All right, gonna help out if Wolf is in the right place at the right time. There's not a lot of deep vision for Counterlogic Gaming to make use of.
SKT going with a flank move here. Actually, they've got everybody mid.
Smithy's going to sidestep the tidal wave, is slowed by the Tidecaller's blessing, and forces a flash out of Smithy, but they defend the tower.
Yeah, definitely needed kudos here for Wolf on this Nami pick. A lot of people questioning it. He's had some key bubbles. Gets a summoner spell there, SKT with the side swipe.
And this was exactly what we talked about. As soon as SKT sees HIGHTLIGHT on the bottom side, they can't really send anyone to stop him because they don't have a double teleport set up. So they had to make a play mid. And because
to punish on the other side, nobody in position there to make it happen.
Just, again, a mistake we see from some top laners where they value getting that one extra wave pushed up and then don't realize the rest of the map is not in position, because it's always about pushing the waves first, make the plays after.
We'll find out how CLG bounce back. 10 seconds till the next dragon. Counterlogic Gaming still are in the lead with towers, with kills, with gold. But the next contest, the Dragon has been a pivotal point already during the 2 games.
Yeah, and another thing that we do need to look at from SKT's perspective is the vision game. Not only did they get much needed gold from that pick, but they got to lay a bunch of vision down, setting up for this Dragon, which they desperately need to work around because, again, the pink wards behind them, watching out for these flanks is very important. CLG are actually making a move up on the Baron side and just give away this Dragon. So SKT, basically one of the other ramifications of that last play where Darshan got caught out is this Dragon control.
True Shot Barrage was used to scout the Baron. Obviously no one from CLG was there. HIGHTLIGHT set up on the bottom lane with teleport available and is going to go toe-to-toe with Duke. Duke's
flank. That's one of the downsides, obviously, of running like a Soraka and Italy combo, is that you can't really start the fights.
Yeah.
So in case, you know, or if we saw more engaged on the side of CLG and they started making these 1v1 plays, 1v2 plays, then they can force something. But that's not what that composition is supposed to do.
So Counterlogic Gaming not really playing to the core tenets of their team composition. And, you know, some credit to SKT, not flinching, despite being down in gold, despite being down in some of the global plays. I want to just mention, when SKT lose games, they've lost 5 this tournament, they average a 48-minute game time in their losses. That is how hard it is to beat SKT. And despite the small advantages CLG have, they're giving away any of those early leads and allowing SKT even more opportunities in this game.
A lot of it comes down to the fact that SKT makes a lot less mistakes than other teams. Every team will make mistakes from time to time, but just depending on how many do you make.
Set up down bottom for CLG as the mid lane gets pushed off, but the 2 solos are going for the kill on Duke.
All right, Duke should walk into this convergence, realizes where it's coming down, turns his attention. That was a flash from HIGHTLIGHT, looking to continue to tag Duke. Failed flash! That's the mistake that Official was talking about. Look at the rest of SKT. They peeled for Baron.
Yep, this time they're the ones starting Baron, but the 2 solos have teleport. So again, it's a Baron without threat, and the spear lands.
That's a lot of damage onto Wolf. The tidal wave from Nami and the bubble. Wolf is the sacrificial piece of sushi. A defensive flash. Afro gives up his life to save his ADC. Bang! Flashes and Arcane shifts forward to find another one. Smithy misses a point-blank spear. You cannot afford that. Here comes HIGHTLIGHT. He's looking for blank. He's going to even it out. 2 kills apiece. Faker wants to reply in kind. Soldier secure.
Actually, Faker uses flash aggressively to answer that kill.
I think we just saw in the last minute how every team will make mistakes, but some teams make more, and it's also about can you punish the mistakes. Right here, massive mistake by Duke, first of all being caught out, then flashing into the wall, but then
split push and teleport in to his heart's content for the next few minutes.
Right, the way that SKT want to play this game is slower and calmer. The more flashes that are gone, the more teleports that are gone, the more variables that are gone for SKT makes it much easier for them to try and play their standard team comp.
I know we're very even in this game, but CLG already showing up a little better in game 2.
So the flanks are coming in without teleports.
They don't need it. The parallel convergence stuns up SKT. Tidal wave will allow a kill though onto HIGHTLIGHT, and CLG are forced to run for their lives. They simply didn't get the damage down. Blank was able to repel up. 6A still putting some burst outs.
Yep, the great stun lock there from SKT. HIGHTLIGHT doesn't get to get his ultimate off. I think he was just on the edge of the parallel convergence as well, and it cost CLG that play.
Good engage though from CLG, knowing Faker had no flash. But then suddenly the echo goes down. Still no hourglass for HIGHTLIGHT. Once he completes it, it's going to be big because then he...
Last time SKT played RNG, or when they played against Fnatic and IM, you know, those 3-game series.
I mean, CLG is doing a much better job than we've seen in the past against SKT. Look here.
The cocoon on the edge of the parallel convergence.
And then he actually jumps straight into the bubble right after, so he couldn't even hourglass if he had it. Ends up going down.
Close there.
There's the ulti from Afromu coming in. as well after who had already gone down. And small things in these fights, but SKT keep looking for the flanks, and they always go for Hui. When he jumps in, it's like get the cocoon, get the bubble, get one point of CC on him, and then try and burst him down.
I'll take a look at the goal difference there. CLG held the lead for the better part of 26 minutes. And the last few just being picked off, just, you know, chasing the loss maybe, as SKT have regained control of the map, of the game, and the gold. And
as you said before, CLG, they are playing well. You know, they are going toe-to-toe with SKT. And that's more than we saw from Fnatic if we go back to our IM finals, obviously, where SKT won 3 games fairly quickly. And that's a big thing for CLG.
Aggressive move from the back line of SKT.
Let's take a look. Stixay's chunked down. Exhaust has been used. Smithy, Darshan, Hui. They're looking for targets. Blank's gone up and come down. Darshan's caught in a bubble. Flashes and QSS's away.
Duke is coming.
Are grouped up. Here comes Duke from the back. Counter Logic Gaming. They're in trouble. The spear tags bang, but it won't matter. Flash away from Stixay. Trying to kill Duke, but it will not count. Hui gets exhausted. Still cannot find a kill. That's 2 for Counter Logic Gaming. SKT are running for their lives. A chomp from Duke secures the 3rd. Stixay still running away.
A huge victory for SKT. They're going to chase down the last kill here, and that should be Baron as well for them.
Once again here, SKT, they pick the correct fights. You see them kite back at first when the engages happen from the Poppy, from the Echo. Once you dive, Soraka, it's very hard to land the snare. Italy doesn't offer anything. Lucian doesn't offer anything. And you have the Echo and the Poppy being busy, obviously trying to kill SKT's backline. So you see Faker every single fight. He's not afraid to just go for Soraka, go for the Lucian, because no one can lock him down.
7-4-5. Most deaths on his team, but it simply doesn't matter because the rest of the team cleans up every single time.
Yeah, CLG are working with a much smaller timing window on those team fights. Not able to take anyone from SKT down there before Duke arrives, and at that point, they've used everything.
Yeah, it's what we talked about with this composition for CLG. It looks to be 3 separate parts that doesn't really fit together. Because you can't protect your own backline with the front line of CLG, with the Poppy and the Echo. You don't have any CC to really stop anyone when they dive your carries. And you don't have the damage either to kill the backline of SKT because it's at Ezreal. First of all, there's an army healing and CCing as well. And Echo struggles so much when it comes to bursting down one target because he can never use ulti offensively. He needs the longer fights where everyone is split up and he can chase. But you don't get those fights.
No, he does not. He doesn't get to set up and engage either. Hui, without teleport, Duke was able to force Darshan away. And looking at vision on the map, there's not a lot of wards behind SKT. 1 or 2 if CLG wanted to pull the trigger, but they simply aren't in a position to do so. And definitely not against a Baron up team. CLG are just stalling. Baron power play, 3,800 gold, more than CLG already. Bang takes a lot of damage. Timewinder tags up multiple members of SKT, and Bang is low. Keeper's Verdict will send Duke away from the tower, but I think the minions should still be able to secure it. There it is, taken down. It's coming apart at the seams for Counter Logic Gaming.
Yeah, there's nothing Darshan can do to move this Trundle off of the turret. He's 3 levels down, 100 CS, even with Smithy coming.
Duke is going to 1v2, pinned against the wall. Now Afro's coming to join. There's no mana left for Smithy. Mid inhibitor turret is the next target that Faker has set his eyes on. And Duke, he just does not care. He's on the top lane inhib. The rest of SKT, they're on the bottom lane inhib.
Yep, and they're going to get it. This Baron buff does not time out. They're going to get both inhibitors, and SKT press in towards the Nexus.
6